Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we are reacting to a TikTok, and I actually reacted to a list from this girl before, and it was definitely out there, but you guys enjoyed it, so let's take a look at her new list and see what we think from a woman's perspective here. Also, with list videos like this, I like to share some of my thoughts as we go. That way we're not doing it all at the end, and we can make sure that we're on the same page. In the last video I reacted to from her, one of the things on her list was nominative determinism. I'll link that video below so you guys can go watch it. It was definitely interesting, but again, you guys really seemed to enjoy it and get a kick out of it, so I'm excited to see what's on this one.
I'm ovulating right now, so here's a list of the hottest things in the world. Number 1, watches. If I ask you what the time is and you do one of these, no digital watches, analog only, like an adult.
Number 1 is watches. Well, are you in the right place or what? I almost cannot believe this is number 1, and I'm wearing a watch, so there we go. I have been saying this since I started my channel. A watch is sexy. I know it may seem like a small accessory that goes undetected, but I swear this is absolutely something that so many women notice. Clearly, I'm not the only one. It doesn't even need to be a specific brand either. I think just wearing a watch in general can send certain signals that women find really attractive in men. And I'm also going to throw in a shameless plug for my husband's store here because I have to. If you aren't aware, I am married to the watch guy, Teddy Baldessar, who has one of the biggest channels for watches on YouTube. So I just think it's so funny that this is number 1. And also, I love watches for myself, and I also think they look so sexy on men. So if you need a watch, look no further than teddybaldessar.com. There is just something so sexy about a guy going like this to check the time instead of picking up his iPhone. I don't know what it is, but from a woman's perspective here, I absolutely agree with her. Next.
Number 2, Heath Ledger smile lines. He isn't the only person that has them, but he is the most iconic. They can also be seen on Linda Cardellini and Elliot Page. It's like they're like low, and they're like.
So number 2 was Heath Ledger smile lines. Oddly specific here, but I see what she means. I think this is just one of those things that can make someone look unique and a little bit interesting, which can be attractive. I can picture in my head exactly what she's talking about, and maybe I'll insert a picture here for you guys to see just so you understand what she's saying. I'm trying to think of other celebrities who have unique smile lines as another example here. Maybe James Franco, he has pretty pronounced smile lines. Tom Cruise, I'm pretty sure does. Brad Pitt might as well. They all have pretty distinct smile lines. And I think the science behind this one is interesting, so I want to read you this little thing that I found. Facial wrinkles help you communicate. Most surprising, facial wrinkles don't just make you look wise, they actually help you read other people. There's a dialogue going on between your face and my face while we're talking. That dialogue depends on our ability to imperceptibly mimic the other person's facial movements. We do this with tiny contractions of our own facial muscles to help us figure out stuff like whether a smile is fake, just a grinning mouth, or authentic, smiling with the eyes. And guys who've had Botox, they can't perform this micro mimicry. Neil's research suggests that smooth, motionless Botox face actually gets in the way of your ability to accurately read others. But I think this can be a reason why we find smile lines attractive. You know, as you get older, they become a lot more pronounced. And a lot of the time, women are actually very attracted to men who are at least a little bit older than they are. So it makes sense. Honorable mention to dimples as well. My husband has dimples and I'm obsessed. But I think the biggest takeaway here is the features that you have make you you. They make you stand out or make you look unique. It's one of those things that definitely become more attractive when you like someone too. And I know this one is kind of out of your control, but I think it could just be nice to know that your physical features, even the ones that you might feel insecure about, could be something that someone loves the most about you. And I think that's sweet. Okay, moving on.
Number 3, shuffling cards. If you can handle a deck of cards, you can handle me. Oh, she wants a magician. So what? What if I do?
Shuffling cards. Why have I also thought about this so many times? Actually, I know exactly why, because it shows dexterity and really emphasizes your hands. And you all probably know by this point how tons of women feel about a man's hands. I think I have talked about this probably 1,000 times at this point, so I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm going to spare you here. But dang, she is right. I'm sorry to keep bringing up my husband, but it's actually relevant to what I'm talking about. We are very heavy into board games, and now that I think about it, I do like watching him shuffle the cards. How embarrassing is that, honestly? But it's something about the way that it emphasizes your hands and shows dexterity and just being able to do like certain movements with your hands. I don't know. It sounds very weird when I'm saying it out loud, but this is absolutely a thing. Agree. Moving on.
Number 4, we have the lower back touch. If we are together somewhere and you're leading me through a crowd and you gently place your hand on my lower back.
The next one here was the lower back touch. Yes, yes, yes. Obviously, with someone that you're seeing here, don't do this to a stranger. I always say that when I bring this up, just to make sure you know. But I think the lower back touch just feels really comforting and also intimate in a strange way, especially when you're walking or almost guiding her in a way. Maybe after you open the door for her and you put your hand on her lower back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just comforting, it's reassuring, again, also strangely intimate. It just kind of sends a shiver up your spine, to be honest, and I'm here for it. Big fan. Absolutely. Moving on.
Number 5, don't hold this against me. I'm just a girl. Backwards baseball cap. It's douchey, and it's gross, and it works.
Not the backwards baseball cap again. She said it's douchey and it's gross and it works. Ugh. You know, recently I did a video where I got on Instagram and I asked my followers, the women specifically, what are the sexiest things that men wear, in your opinion? And I got a ton of responses. And one of the top responses that I got was a baseball cap, specifically worn backwards. And I expressed in that video that I do not agree, and I, for the life of me, do not understand this one, but I do believe I am in the minority here. I would much rather prefer to see a guy style his hair than put a baseball cap on, especially backwards. Baseball caps to me were always to protect yourself from the sun, to wear to a sporting event, also sometimes to protect yourself from the sun, or to cover up a bad hair day. But to wear a baseball cap just to wear a baseball cap, I have never really been a fan. And a backwards baseball cap just gives off the vibe that you're going to absolutely ruin my life. Major F-boy player type vibes, but I would imagine that is why some women like this. Do with that what you will. And actually, I really want to know the science behind why women like the backwards baseball cap, so I'm going to quickly Google this and see what I can find. Okay, this is interesting. The backward ball cap's inherent athleticism and rebellious connotations give the style a level of sex appeal that's notably higher than its forward-facing counterpart. Simply put, a forward-facing ball cap is unassuming and potentially innocent. I mean, it does make sense when you think about it. However, I am not a fan. It's not my vibe. I'm sure a lot of women would agree with me, but I also think that there are more women who like it than don't, just based on all of the things that I've seen, all of the lists, my own little scientific research projects that I've conducted on my Instagram account by asking questions. A lot of women like this one. You know, if you're bald or you don't like your hair, I could absolutely see this being a wonderful avenue for you. I personally think bald guys look great. I like the look. I think it's very masculine. But if you're someone who's insecure about your hair or what you've got going on up here, you know, the backwards baseball cap might save the day for you. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Maybe you guys can do little experiments for me out in public. Go out with no hat on. Go out with a forward baseball hat and then a backwards baseball hat, and let me know which one gets you the most attention or the most compliments. Or maybe a woman approaches you when you're wearing one of the above. I would love to know your personal experience with wearing baseball hats or not, and how you're wearing it, and the attention that you get based on how you're wearing it. Share below. Okay, next one here.
Looking over sunglasses. If you're wearing sunglasses and you pull one of these, and there you have it, folks. There's this month's list. I'm not doing well. This is a rough one. It's a rough one. I'm going through it. I'm feeling a lot of things. Help me.
Oh my goodness. Looking over sunglasses. I feel like this one could fall on completely opposite ends of the spectrum, either really hot or really not. I think maybe being too obvious about this would just look like you're trying to be a cliche cool guy in a movie who is probably actually not very cool. If you do this naturally though, and not often, you can't use this one all the time. This is one that you gotta just throw in there randomly. I could see it working. I don't know, mixed thoughts on this one. Maybe depends on the shape of your sunglasses, what style you go for. Maybe when I finish filming this, I'll go ask my husband to do a demonstration so I can have an informed opinion about this one. But off the top of my head, again, I could picture it going really well or really not well. It could be really hot or really not. So, again, the last list that I reacted to from this girl was kind of the same ballpark of things that are so bizarre and out there that you would never think of them. But then when you think about them, you're like, oh yeah, I see how that could be attractive. You know, a lot of the time these things become attractive when you're already interested in someone, right? So you start to notice little things about someone, their little quirks, things that you love about them that maybe you didn't notice before, or just them doing very mundane, everyday, boring things that are seemingly irrelevant from the outside looking in become things that you find so sexy and so attractive in a person. Again, a very strange list here. Watches was not that weird to me. I totally agree with that. The Heath Ledger smile lines were oddly specific, but again, I see what she means. Shuffling cards, totally agree. Lower back touch, totally agree, not so strange. Backwards baseball cap, normal to most girls, but I can't get on board. I'm not a fan of that. I like when my husband styles his hair and puts product in it and like shows that he puts effort in. He also has a fabulous head of hair, so to cover it up with a hat should be a crime. And looking over sunglasses. Yeah, strange list. I think the weirdest one was the Heath Ledger smile lines. So again, strange, interesting, weird. Would love to know what you guys think down in the comments. If you're a woman watching, please share your opinion to help some other guys out down below. Guys watching, what are some things women do that are maybe weird or out there that you find attractive that maybe we would never think about? I always love to read those when you guys leave comments like that, so let me know down below. If you like this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Shoot, give the video a like if you didn't like it. I don't know, we're feeling a little strange today, so give me a like regardless. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.